This is Fajardo from the Locker Room. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers before the end of the month. Now, let's talk about the New York Rangers, currently third in their division and on pace to match their 110-point performance of last year. The difference between last year and this year is that they actually are faring very well in the faceoff circle with the addition of Trocheck. And yes, they lost a little bit of firepower and stability when they lost Kopp and Vetrano in the offseason, but they have come back with some unexpected heroes, such as Jimmy Vesey, who is definitely playing at a much higher level now that he's been given an opportunity on the top three lines rather than just playing on the fourth line. He is beginning to produce for them, which is a big surprise because he was only brought on in a trial situation, and then his performances led to him getting a contract extension, which I believe is well deserved. But if you look at the makeup of this team, they do have a number one line in Panarin, Zibanejad, and Kreider. After that, they've gotten a lot of secondary contributions from both of the other lines that they have, which bounce around with Vesey now, Gaudreau, Trocheck, and obviously the kid line, Kapu, Philip Hedl, Lafreniere. Although it's been very good throughout the season and it's kept them towards the top of the board, it's one of those situations where, as a fan of the New York Rangers, you have to ask yourself, is this team built to repeat what it did last year, or is it a team built to win the cup? You have to ask yourself, what are they going to do for scoring? What is it that they're missing? Because against upper end teams, they struggle. Against middle of the table, lower end, they do win the majority of those games. But still, you tend to wonder, if the number one line is locked up, where does that secondary scoring come from? Luckily, they've had the second line with Trocheck, Gaudreau, and a random Vesey and a couple of other people. I know Kravtsov was on that line for a little bit. They threw Gauthier there for a couple of games. It helped here and there, but there's no guarantee of secondary scoring. The kid line is still progressing and making strides and doing a lot more than they did last season, but still, the question has to be asked. Where do you go from here? Do you make a play for some of those guys that are currently on the trade block, like Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, Tarasenko, O'Reilly? You don't know where the Rangers are going to go. As we start approaching the deadline after this All-Star break, you really start looking at the teams and the moves being made around. The New York Islanders made a big move. They got Bo Horvat, and puts a little bit more pressure on the New York Rangers to be a little more aggressive on making a deal to take another step, as the teams around them are currently looking to make a deal and take a step. So what do you think the New York Rangers should do? Do you think they're good enough as they are, or should they make a move? Please let me know in the comments below. This is Fajardo. Peace.
Thank you, Fajardo, for making that video. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. We're trying to reach 2,000 before the end of the month. And if you enjoy these videos, make sure to check out our Patreon. Any little bit could help, but if you can't help out monetarily, just like, comment, and subscribe. That is immensely helpful as well.
Rangers head for the break with a 4-1 win over the Vegas Golden Knights.